Hello, and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are the Established Facts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Established Facts. This is episode 159. We've got a couple of previous hosts, as it is, joining us. One who was with us for many years, and one who pops in and out as he so fits. And we're going to talk about some Kickstarter things. Yeah. All your podcasts talk about Kickstarter, but we do as well. So we're going to... What?
I have no idea how to react to that.
As you shouldn't. First, let's introduce ourselves, starting on my left.
This is Princess Katie.
I'm Avital.
Hey guys, this is Derek.
And I'm Alan.
And as I said before, this is Josh. Well, oftentimes we have our standard form factor of going through a versus topic or discussion, but today we're going to jump right into a discussion because... Kickstarters are a thing. We talk about them often, but some of them are hitting kind of close to home, and we want to give these guys an opportunity to talk about their Kickstarters.
Nice punch of it all. We have to work on your form a little.
Maybe, yeah, but she's not exactly
I'm
violent.
sitting down and not trying.
Hey, maybe you should learn from Mike Tyson at some point.
I feel like there's foreshadowing there.
I just wish I
feel
would have
like
been
I'm
looking
ready
up.
for death.
I missed
A
everything.
sweet, long sleep of death.
Maybe in the future I will somehow in some way have something about me that has to do with Mike Tyson for some reason, somehow.
That's possible.
This is what happens when you record episodes out of order. In 2 weeks, check out episode 160.
And don't feel bad. I wasn't here for that one. So I don't
He
even know
won't
what's
be here
going
for that one. Shh.
Actually, we'll be there for the last
We're
part of it.
currently
Oh, yeah.
destroying all of the timelines.
All of them.
Anyways.
Okay, so go ahead, Josh.
Well, actually, I'm going to tell you to go ahead there, Derek. Derek, you are looking to re-enter the world of Kickstarter for a couple of reasons, correct?
Correct. I've got two that will be happening soon. One, which is the main one, which is the next Fear the Con Kickstarter. Fear the Con will be happening June 22nd and 23rd of 2018. And we want to have this be a sustainable convention. The last convention, we took a little bit of a loss, and so when you guys take a look at the goals, they are a little bit higher than last year because we do not want the organizers to have to mortgage their children too.
Right.
Children? Of course. You can't mortgage children, Derek.
He's tried already.
Depends where you are.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the Sudanese person that I talked to said I could.
I respect that. At least you're reaching out.
I am.
It's literally a outreach program.
It is an outreach program.
My question here is, Derek, are you trying to mortgage other people's children?
No. Never.
Uh-huh. Okay. Please continue.
Welcome back. We're going to try to get Mikey back. We're going to try to get the Worldwide Wing Night back. We are starting with all the rooms in the hotel. So
There's a lot of rooms.
that's, well, not the rooms, but, like the conference rooms.
Event spaces, yeah.
Yeah, and that will include the boardroom. that we did not use last year, but I have plans, and that's for Kickstarter number 2.
Plans. Evil things.
Now, do you want to talk about...
Go ahead. No, that wasn't me clearing my throat for any reason.
No, I
other than
mean,
just, I needed to
Finish up part 2. Go ahead.
Let's
and
talk about part 2.
Part 2? Okay, well...
Now, part 2.
Now part 2. Last time on Kickstarter. The Fear the Charity I've been running for 6 years, I want to say. 7 years, something like that. It was it's been since the triple death and destruction that happened in Japan. That was the first year that I ran it.
A while ago.
It's a while ago. So this Fear the Charity, I want to basically take it to more conventions, and I want to take it to the internet on Twitch. So I need video and audio equipment to be able to do that, as well as a portable table. A company that I am completely blanking on just finished a Kickstarter on portable gaming tables.
Oh yeah,
I saw those.
Yes, and
ones that fold up and go into the bag. Yeah,
and I talked to them at Gen Con, and they showed me the carrying case. It was really amazing, and it would work really well for the portable nature that I want to do with this. But I need 4 cameras and like 8 mics. And
the Game Anywhere table, is that them?
That is it.
Transforming Designs.
That's it. Thank you. So I want to get one of their tables. I want to get cameras, a laptop that will handle the Twitch, and then mics, lavalier mics, and so forth. So it can all just be set up pretty quickly. Currently, I'm going to hopefully be at PopCon, depending on logistics on how that works.
Yeah, the Established Facts is actually working on some stuff for PopCon next year. It's the 5th anniversary, so we want to come and swing it again. And we feel a charity opportunity is a great sponsorship for both the Established Facts, and since Fear the Charity is something that, as an organization, already exists for donating and handling all of that, Derek loves doing it, so though he may not be a full-time host now, he is still part of this family, and we want to make sure to use it as a way to raise funds for a good cause.
I'm a host emeritus.
You're in the alumni section.
And then at Fear the Con, obviously, I'll be running it. And that boardroom that I was just talking about, not only will that be running the charity event, but we're thinking about, I should say, having spotlight games that are streamed online as well. So people who are not able to get to Fear the Con, they can at least Jaffa some games that are going on at Fear the Con. So there are other conventions that I want to be a part of that I want to bring Fear the Charity to, but I want to start those two. I know I can do. The other ones I need to work on the logistics. But since that Kickstarter is not happening until I'm hoping the first 3 weeks of December, then I've got a little bit of time to plan.
Okay, Avital, you okay over there?
I just kicked something under the table with my pinky toe.
Oh,
ouch!
All right.
Yes, ouch. But I didn't make noise. Y'all just,
That was
true,
very,
you
very
just-
awesome.
She held it in.
Yeah.
you did. Fear the Con is a big deal for the Established Facts and many of our other podcast friends. It's a opportunity for us usually to get together and play games with people from all across the country, honestly. And it's a smaller venue, but the Drury in Brentwood has been incredible the last 2 years.
That Drury epitomizes the concept of hospitality. They
do.
have the reason why, I should say, a lot of the reason why last year went so smoothly, or I should say this year went so smoothly, is because of how the Drury helped us. They took beds out of the room upstairs so we could have a con suite. They didn't even know that we wanted that to happen. They suggested it and they did it. Wow. For nothing.
Nice.
So we were asked right after our convention ended if we wanted to come back. So that means that the gamers that went to the convention made an impression on the jury.
We behaved well.
Yay.
We are going to have a code of conduct, an actual explicit code of conduct for this con.
Doesn't look like I can go.
No. No, one of the lines is that Alan is not allowed in the convention.
I respect that.
Now, go ahead. Take that back.
No.
Take it back.
No, I
Take it
respect.
back.
I'm going to
He
do something,
respected.
and I respect that.
I understand that he respect that, but that's not the fear of the way. It's not.
Fear the way. Yes, we fear the Alan. So
Fear the Con has always been a very welcoming thing. The reason why you guys mentioned the code of conduct is because of size. As we grow, we have to make sure that people stay within a certain code, so that if it were to go wrong, it could very clearly, you broke the conduct, get out.
exactly. And honestly, a lot of people, there were several people that are like, why do we need a code of conduct? And it's not because of the people that are currently going. It's because we want to grow the convention. We want to make it still an indie, quote-unquote, indie convention, where we're not bringing in a lot of the big names like Pathfinder Society and that sort of thing. Not that we don't like Pathfinder Society, we love them, but we want it to remain the, what do they call it, the family reunion that we want to go to.
Sure.
So we want to keep it that more intimate, more.
You're not looking to bring in big business. You're wanting it to be just people. That's what you're
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's more the better way of phrasing that, because I know we've played Society at Fear the Con. It's not about Society. It's about the major organizations being a part of it. We want it to be a self-funded convention so that it can be what the people attending want it to be.
And I'm going to be getting a hold of Contessa. I don't know if you've heard of that organization. They had a space down in Gen Con on the football field this year.
I've heard of them. I just don't know what they do.
But they organize over minority. They organize games with minority developers.
Okay.
So we want to involve them in this as well. And just really hit on that more underground indie developer thing. And that's where our direction is going right now.
Speaking of indie developer,
Yes.
that is why Kickstarter number 3 is represented here today.
Who's this guy?
Wow, look, a segue.
Right? I did it. Check.
I'm proud.
Yes, that is impressive.
We've had Alan on here before. We have spoken of this game many times before, but Alan of DNA Games is here to discuss his game.
Yes, Nightfall at Camp Havenwood.
Spooky.
All right, that's it. I can't take you anything seriously.
And obviously,
Before.
That's true. That's very true.
the established facts has no code of conduct, or else he wouldn't be here.
Precisely. I'm only brought on when they need cynicism.
That's true.
Like we need an ample amount of cynicism in this particular episode. So Nightfall at Camp Havenwood is on Kickstarter till October 13th, which is Friday the 13th this year.
Nice.
I was expecting spooky, but the ladies are talking, so we didn't have a cheering section here.
No, you only get one.
I only get one. That's fine.
They're
That's
paying
fine.
so much attention as you say that.
I know, right? They're like,
What?
whatever.
We got distracted
Exactly.
by really cool costuming stuff for LARPs. Avital loves LARPs and costumes. I love costumes. I've done LARPs.
We don't need explanations. Great. I'm happy.
You're on your own, dude.
I know. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I know what you just said.
It's all right. Fine. Fine. I don't need you guys to back me up. I need everyone out there to check out the Kickstarter,
That's
though.
a nice.
Everyone in the ether.
Wow, everybody's segueing today.
Good.
And again, it's only on there for about another 2. I don't know. When does this come out? Ooh, about another 4 days.
About in 4 or 5 days, yep.
Yep, about 4 or 5 days there. So we're about 50% right now. I'm hoping by the time you guys hear this, I can say we're funded and we're cracking through stretch goals left
That'd
and
be
right.
great.
That would be fantastic. Josh has a stake in this, so
I do.
he kind of wants it to happen. I guess I have a stake in it too, because I'd love to see the game go out there and make other people happy, or at least make other people hate me. That's cool when they lose. If they lose,
that should be your stake. Your stake should be buy my game.
Well, maybe.
Technically,
maybe.
your steak should be made of a cow, but
Potentially.
Or wood.
Or tuna.
Or tuna. Look at this. I
other
love
various
this.
things. Okay.
I think
Smell.
for this particular game, a wooden stake would be most appropriate.
That would be
be nice.
perfectly apropos.
Well, once we hit, I don't know, the 4th stretch goal and we open up the classic monsters, absolutely we need to talk about a wooden stake.
Oh my God.
Currently, we only have a 10th stake.
That 10 stake is great. Unbreakable, 1 damage weapon.
Yep. And I proved that when we went camping last week. I actually bent my 10 stake in half. I could still kill something with
So
that.
how many people
Oh,
did
yeah.
you kill?
Let's not talk about that. But the gameplay is 2 to 5 people.
2 to 5 people? That's good.
And I'm not saying I'm killing them all. I'm hoping they're winning
No,
Oh,
you're
okay,
not.
no, you're not.
you're not.
once a week. So the pledge levels that are currently available, we have some early birds at $35. And once we go through those, which we only have 7 left, I'm sorry, I'm used to doing the Facebook Live. Anybody who watches the Facebook Lives that we do 2 or 3 times a week, I'm used to taking my glasses off so I look a little more presentable on camera. And that's just a habit. So my glasses are off, so I actually can't read right now. So let's put this back on, since you can't see me anyway. Sorry, guys, it's a habit now. Like, I'm going to talk. Let's take the glasses off. Let's just hope Let's just hope that doesn't happen when I
Are
start
you
driving.
trying to say that people with glasses are not presentable?
No, I'm just saying I'm not presentable with
Oh,
glasses.
okay.
Okay. We'll accept that.
Okay, is that good? Is there a code of conduct against for glasses versus against glasses?
No, 4 glasses is fine.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Just know
that.
that.
Just because I wear 'em.
Of the people at the table, the glasses outnumber the non-glasses, and I am actually a glasses wearer, not currently wearing my glasses. So
I used to be a glasses wearer.
until she got that LASIK surgery,
Nice.
Anyways, but always remember that while we may refrain from hitting a man with glasses, we will not hesitate to hit a man with glasses.
Okay,
I like
I respect that. I thought there was just gonna be I was a special part of that rule.
Well,
Maybe
you
I
are
could-
special.
Is you're a special something?
Aw, thank you. I have a short car. Okay, it's just a short car. So,
Anyways,
so after that, we get in. So we have
Oh, God.
a couple open slots for stores. I just want to leave that there, just hanging out there.
I know.
A couple of slots for stores here at $80. Little Shop of Horrors. Basically, you're buying 2, you get a third one free. And of course, we have some really cool ways for you to contribute, like your face. Need your face in the game. We have 4 slots for people to put their image in the game, so our artists can draw you like an 80s camper. High socks, high tube socks, short shorts, fro if you want it. We can do that. I don't care. Whistle around your neck with a polo. That's fine. As long as it's appropriate in some way, shape, or form. If it's not what you send me, I'll just put Sharpie over what we can't draw and have my artist make it happen.
So 80s hairband.
That's fine. That's cool. Pull it back, throw an American flag around it if you want. I don't care. I think our first guy, Bill Stivers, who's first on the list, he's already told me he wanted to go, Will Ferrell from... He wants to go Jackie Moon. What was
Yeah.
what was the movie we were trying to go?
Yeah,
That one.
I'm going to look it up again.
Where they were the tropics. So,
going.
but he wants to go flat out short shorts, high tube socks, afro. It's going to be fantastic and hideous all in the same shot there.
Was that the basketball game? The basketball
That's
movie? He was
yeah,
in?
yeah. He wants semi-pro.
Semi-
Semi-pro.
Boom.
Yeah.
He wants to go all semi-pro on us, which is going to be rough
amusing.
seeing Bill and that stuff. Sorry, Bill, if you're listening. So
Again, no, he's not.
we have to make sacrifices, and if seeing Bill with high tube socks and short shorts is part of it, then, so be it.
As long as he's doing the granny free throw shot. Well,
Nice. And, and when I started this, I really thought the 5 horrors were going to be the scariest thing in the game. So, on our Facebook Live, that's just called Alan Shade. So
I see.
that's anyway. Again, so it's a cooperative. I didn't even talk about what the game is, right? I was
you
like,
haven't.
"Hey, it's on Kickstarter. Check it out." It's a
Hey, people, check out this game. We're not going to tell you about
No,
it.
I'm not
It's
gonna tell you about-
mysterious.
mysterious. So,
You have to buy it to figure it out.
Exactly. So it's a cooperative survival horror game using the programming mechanic for 2 to 5 players. The horror is going to be automated by the game, so you don't have to have someone doing that. It's based off 80s slasher movies, so it's set in a camp. You're essentially going through one of the 8 objective cards, and those objectives will have 6 scenes, which not only sets your rounds up for you, but also sets a timer for the game. You're going to achieve that by the end of that 6th scene in most of the scenarios, or you're going to die horrible deaths. Now, of course, there's player elimination, because what good horror movie didn't have player elimination? How awful would that be, right? 6 campers make it all the way to the end. They tally up points. Jason, you made some good moves there, but you really didn't kill anybody.
That's boring.
6 campers. I mean, come on. You did run upstairs. We deducted 3 points, but you did hit him with the fire extinguisher. Now, that isn't going to work out. So there is player elimination, and there's also friendly fire in this game. Mm-hmm. You're going to run around. You're scared to death. What's up, Derek? Talk to me.
Hey, Alan, how about you describe what a programming mechanic is?
I'll get there.
Okay.
That hurt. Physically, I can feel the pain from that.
So, again, friendly fire in the game. And let's go to that programming mechanic.
Yes, please.
So, a programming mechanic, at least in this game, is where every player has their own hand of cards. They're going to look at the scene number, which is essentially a round. That will tell us how many turns there are. Those turns are variable upon each scene. And then the first player is going to play a card, and I'm doing this with my hands, because, again, I'm used to being in front of a camera. This is weird. They're going to play that card to a common discard pile, and then repeat this process for every player around the table, and then they'll repeat that for the number of turns in the round until we have a deck of cards there that we're going to flip over, and we're going to resolve those cards in the order in which they were placed. Okay, so it's all going to happen in the order in which you want it to. It's just, did you remember what you were doing? Did you talk to your teammates to see what they were going to do? So you don't end up on the same square, I don't know, putting a chainsaw in their face while they bury a hatchet in yours.
Mm-hmm. That'd be funny.
Just to see the horror one square away, chuckling.
Well, if you're in 2 different locations, can you still talk to that person to describe?
You absolutely can. You can still talk as if you had a walkie-talkie or something like that. However, the different turns have different symbols, and the different symbols are going to alter those abilities, such as a light gray square is wide open conversation. We can talk, we can converse, we can do whatever we have to do. A black square is going to indicate that we have some kind of break in communication. Either the lights have flipped off, or our walkie-talkies are doing that nasty static sound that we can't actually get that across. There are other turns where we're going to draw randomly from people's hands because of the chaos that's happening. And each scene is themed. Like I said, you're going to use 6 scenes per game. There's 21 different scenes in the base set, along with a ton of different weapons, 5 different horrors, 8 good guys to choose from. They're asymmetrical powers. They're all the cheesy things you could possibly deal with in a horror movie. You have the nurse, the camper, the nerd. Oh, sorry, the geek. My bad. The geek there. It's not like I put the name on the card, right? And so on and so forth with those. The cheerleader, of course, and the jock.
So the cheerleader dies every time. The first one to die every time.
Well, the cheerleader...
She's super helpful.
The cheerleader is pretty cool. If she's sharing a square, sharing a location with someone else, they get bonuses.
She's literally...
But isn't she supposed to be the one that always dies first in a horror movie?
Potentially. But then we also have the Meekling represented, and everyone always asks me what the Meekling is. The Meekling is that character who is able to slip around and stay under the radar the entire time.
Yeah.
They don't break the rules. They don't have premarital sex. They don't do drugs.
Yeah.
They never say they're going to be right back. They're the good one. And at the end, they creep out somehow, or they're the one who gets vicious right at the end and takes out the bad guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just to die in the opening scene of the next one. So the
Yeah.
Meekling can walk around the camp, can actually run around the camp while not taking any of the negatives from running.
That's funny.
So anyway, long story short, back our Kickstarter. Share it. Check us out, DNA Games. We're all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, videos on YouTube. If you've played the game, or if you just want to check out what everybody else says who has played the game, check us out on Board Game Geek.
And the name of the game again?
Nightfall at Camp Havenwood.
Okay.
It's on Kickstarter till Friday the 13th in October.
Okay.
Yeah,
I realized
how
something.
convenient. What?
I never told people when the Kickstarter for Fear the Con was.
It's true. So we now know that Nightfall at Camp Havenwood ends on October 13th, currently going on. When does the Fear the Con?
Well, we're tentatively, at this point, going to start it on the 24th of October, and it'll end on the 10th of November. So it's going to be a super short Kickstarter. We timed it so that it starts on Beth's birthday and ends on mine.
Okay.
And has Halloween in the middle. So
Sure.
it's all special.
Sure.
Special.
And so just wanted to have
Reiterate
people
that.
reiterate that.
Cool. Well, while we're on the subject of Kickstarter, just to kind of finish this off, it's going to be a shorter episode. That's totally fine. What? Oh, do you have
Given
more?
our propensity for
About
longer
stuff.
episodes, that's an okay thing.
Yeah, that's an okay thing.
I think
Do you have more?
I've got more. I've got
Okay,
actually
more.
a special announcement that
Oh.
I'm going to reveal here. Yeah, I know. Shocked. I just got accepted into Indie Game Developer Network.
Oh, wow.
I
That's awesome.
applied, and thank you. And they accepted my application. So, Pal Game Press is going to we're going to do a revision of USS, and we're going to start doing board games. We have 4 or 5 ready to publish.
That's crazy.
That's
awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
And have you thought about? I know that you've already got Heroes Love Song up on Paizo's site and everything. Have you thought about bringing that in to that fold?
I think I will. I will probably make it a game system agnostic. I shouldn't say agnostic.
So
it'll be like
a module that's game system agnostic.
Yeah, that can be used with the USS Pathfinder, that sort of thing.
What I see a lot of people doing with that is they end up having just multiple versions of it. One for USS, in this case Pathfinder, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's really awesome. The Indie Game Network is who else is on? Is that where Jason Morningstar and those guys are?
I don't remember. I honestly don't. But
That's Indie Press Revolution, I think.
Right.
Okay, but still, really cool. That's really some cool news. I hadn't heard that.
Their yearly dues are $100, and part of that is to get you into Gen Con and Origins as part of their booth.
Oh wow,
And
That's awesome.
Yeah. As well as you've got this whole group of people that are there to help you with art, with finding artists, finding not publishers, but production, help with production. They also are there for support, but you still own everything. You still do the production. You're still responsible for paying it, but because they've got a deal with a production company for printing, everybody puts their stuff in basically around the same time, and so you get a lower price point for
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah, I'm really interested in this. I'm listening now.
Listening intently.
So I feel the glare gaze from Alan.
this is a good thing. This is exactly why this worked out.
I have a big glowing smile on my face right now because that's really the hardest part is, fielding questions of people saying, why does this cost so much? Why does that cost so much? And I'm saying these are the exact same questions I'm asking my company the companies I'm dealing with. Why does this cost so much? Why is it $22 to ship my game to Europe? Or why is it $22 to ship it to Australia? I don't want to charge my customers that, but they're like, hey, this is what it costs. Do you want to lose money? I can't afford to lose money because I need the money to fund the game. And same with printing. Why does this cost so much? And we've done a lot. And those dials that we had at first were really cool, but the prototyping fees, the extra weight, everything else, you had to go to these tableaus. Now, the tableaus have worked out beautifully, and they lowered the cost too. But still, you have to do a bunch of runarounds. Now, if I could have found someone who could have, I don't know, let me batch the game in with a bunch of other people's games and lowered that printing cost, that would have been phenomenal.
Yes, they do have an application process. It takes about 10 days. Everybody who is a member votes on it. And then you're told whether you're in or you're not in. If you're not in, they've got a program to help you get to that next level, getting into the network. So it's something that I wish I had heard about years ago. So, but I found them as I was quickly going through the halls of Gen Con, and I was like, I want to know about. And one of their members, Sunday's Game, which we just jumped in, it was a historical RPG. And
Much better than hysterical RPGs.
yes, it's true.
I don't know. Hysterical RPGs can be great.
They can be.
Historical RPG.
But it was a Viking game. And
That's hysterical.
Hysterical Vikings.
Hysterical Vikings,
That
yes.
could be. Ooh-wee.
But he's part of the network, and he helped me with my application and all that. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it, to starting with that.
That's
And
cool.
by the end of spring, we should have at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 games out.
And they're the Indie Game Development Network.
Indie Game Developer Network, yes.
There you go.
IGDN.
So for those of you trying to get a board game or game of some sort off the ground, definitely take a look at that organization.
But also, if you're looking for some unique games, definitely check them out. They, again, going back to the whole Fear the Con of, the indie developer, you're going to find some mechanics that you have not encountered before. Nightfall is actually a very good example of this. I have not seen the programming mechanic the way that you've described it. So
The way they do it is different, but it does take a bit. Cult Express is where I first saw it.
okay,
It's a train robbery game where
okay.
you do with programming, but
And it's done a little more loosely in Nightfall because
Right.
you have to have the flexibility in a game where something's chasing you. Whereas Cold Express is more like you move here, you move there. This game allows you're going to run, you're going to walk. You only have these spaces are your only restrictions, but you still get to choose because the horror is going to move around and things like that. So you have to have a little more flexibility.
true. But I mean, everything is based on other mechanics. So, but this is
Yeah.
expanding it to something
It is.
different. So, so
that's awesome.
that is my, I guess, announcement. I guess for this.
Can I just throw in this interject real quick? Over some
Oh, yeah.
mechanics? I want to see, and I'm challenging people out there. I want to see the dice forging mechanic, that dice forge, dice creating. Have you guys seen that? Where you
Dice Forge is such an amazing game, and let me just tell you, not only is that game great, but the company that makes that game is full of geniuses because that box, everything
Yes.
has a place, everything's in its place. They have a thing to where you can put stuff to where it doesn't fall out and it doesn't jumble and everything stays and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous and I'm in love with it.
And the box itself is part of the game.
Yeah,
It's the store. And so I didn't really get a chance to play it, but I've definitely watched a lot of videos on it. I don't know if the game itself is my thing, but the fact that you can basically use resources to change the faces of your dice so that you have a higher probability of getting what you need when you roll your dice. This it's a larger plastic die.
Right.
And the faces you actually, first of all the faces are plastic,
Right.
which is already nice, of course. And you take that piece and you can flick the last piece out and then place it in, it locks in.
Oh,
So you
It's
actually
beautiful. It is a wonderful
It's like
game.
looking at your D6 right now and going, you know what, that 1 is awful. I've earned the right to knock the 1 off there and put another 4.
it would be
And there's
interesting.
so many other faces that you can like tailor your dice to your gameplay style. Because there's multiple ways to like win or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It would be interesting to see the longevity of those dice.
That's what I was worried about. And if they're made out of a decent resin, again, I haven't played it,
Right.
but if it's made out of a decent resin, they should hold up pretty well.
Agreed.
They're pretty solid. I mean, I bought the game. I technically bought it at Gen Con, but I didn't buy it from Gen Con because they were sold out. So I bought it on Amazon at Gen Con. But
While you were at Gen Con, you
while it
went
was
on
at Gen
Amazon.
Con, I purchased it on Amazon because they were sold out at the booth that had it.
That
So
happened to me at with demoing photosynthesis. I had people come up, they're out of it, and people were just like, Amazon.
the dice are really sturdy. They're really nice. Like it's a really good game. I'm a huge fan.
It's something that we should definitely look into.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to see where that mechanic can go. And granted, dice are kind of a scary thing for a lot of gamers because they introduce random elements, but that lets you mitigate those random elements and try to do something with it long term.
Well, you can tailor it to a type of player, so I can see the definite benefits of it.
So that's something that's my challenge. I want to see more of that. Now I have a catalog full of games, so I don't feel like putting one of those on my plate yet because
No,
I want to at
neither
least
do
get
I.
I want to get this Kickstarter off the ground. I've got 3 more games on my plate right now that are lined up. And that's the last thing I do is pull out another notebook and start working on that at least. So I want to see that. I want to see more of that dice forge. Dare I say dice forging mechanic? Because that's technically what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're building your dice. You are forging it. But that dice building idea is so cool, and I really want to see more of that.
There's something I wanted to ask you about. I'm curious as to your opinion.
Okay.
So the people that were behind the Conan board game, they said that their next game, which is Batman themed,
Yes.
is only going to be sold on Kickstarter. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, I can see why they're doing it. I mean, honestly, it's a legitimate pre-order system. I mean, Cool Mini's been doing it for a long time. But again, that's not me throwing shade.
Right.
But they do that. But also you get to sidestep a lot of the other issues like going through a distributor, which is the distributor wants, the problem is when you have a certain game and the distributor wants to pay 40% of retail, that's biting into your bottom line, obviously. But you're hoping to make, so for instance, I was looking at what things cost. So if this game costs $12 to make and then I'm selling it at $40, they're going to buy it for
$20.
They're buying it for $16.
Yeah,
what they're buying it for. Yeah. So I'm netting $4.
Yeah,
but they're going to sell it for $20 to the end retailer. They're only making $4.
Right.
But the end retailer, obviously, the retailer needs to make the most amount of money.
Right.
Which is understandable, and so they're trying to double what they have in it, and that's cool. But the problem is if you can cut that middleman out, and I'm sorry, there's a distributor, but if you can cut that middleman out, then you can pad your profit and possibly make a better game.
I can understand that if you were selling it just directly to people beyond Kickstarter. Okay. They're saying during the, month that we have this Kickstarter, that is the only time when you can purchase that game. I have an issue with that.
So there's a lot of issues. There are a lot of foul words. I don't mean actual foul words, but like one big foul, what I've learned, one huge foul word is exclusive.
Yes.
That scares people.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, it's supposed to be a benefit. Okay, thank you for backing us when we needed the money. But then people go, well, you're forcing my hand here, and I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable. And I'm sorry. Like on my end, I am the kind of person who goes, I'm sorry you're uncomfortable, but I need the money now because I'm uncomfortable because I need to make the product.
Right.
And if you can help me, that's fantastic. And I want you to benefit from helping me more than the person who's going to be buying it later because I need it.
And I can understand giving Kickstarter, and you do need to give Kickstarter exclusive benefits for funding you, but you also need to sell the game after Kickstarter.
Very true. No, I agree there. Yeah. And so that's why I was saying that a lot of those. I was agreeing with you on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was agreeing with you because I was just saying what I'm hearing there are some foul words. What are going to become foul words is not between us, but as far as what people are going to say about it. Yeah. And one of those, what I was saying is, like you get this special card only if you get it on Kickstarter. Well, a lot of companies have said, okay, you're not getting a special card, you get an alternate art. And that's a way to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this game, from what you're telling me, I'm sorry I'm out of the loop because I've been pushing a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand.
You're focused on your stuff and you're trying to make it happen. But I did see a little snippet somewhere, I think, on Facebook about it. And selling only on Kickstarter, I mean, why would you narrow your pathway, first of all? Second of all, you're going to give up 5% to Kickstarter immediately. Then you're going to give up another 3 to 5% to Stripe to get paid. Depending on what are you going to, I don't know what their business model is. So I don't know if they're like, hey, here's the game. Here's what we're offering. That's it. Or if they're like, hey, here's our tiered stretch goals. Now you start to play with your fixed cost.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to dig deep into your fixed cost and then make less money and then pay them 10%? I don't know. That's a lot of logistics to worry about.
I could definitely see that. I didn't think about that. I have more of a philosophical problem with it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm a numbers guy.
But that's good. I mean, those are good arguments. It's just I have always seen Kickstarter as a patron of the arts.
I understand that entirely. Yes, absolutely. And they're using it as a store.
Yeah, they're using it as a store.
Yeah.
So
I think that is the big difference. We talked about this a little bit before the podcast. A company like Cool Mini or not uses it as a pre-order system, but they sell their product post that because they're using Kickstarter to raise the funds to produce the game, and as a result, you are getting the game with some extra stuff because you backed us to raise the production costs,
which is all legitimate,
right? But then again, I think Kickstarter's creation and where they came from, and this idea of we want to help the little guy be able to create such and such.
Kickstarter dream,
correct? Right. Whereas bigger guys are now using Kickstarter as the way to kind of gauge interest, which is okay. I mean, that just brings more attention to Kickstarter and the opportunity for smaller companies to get noticed because, hey, you're interested in this, you might be interested in this.
That's true.
I have found quite a few Kickstarters in that way that I've backed that I probably shouldn't have, but that's okay.
One is Nightfall. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Who would think about that?
No.
Poor Josh. He can't handle that.
I actually really like the game and have literally backed it $100 every single time it has gone up. Did the same thing with Derek on the Universal Storytelling.
Yeah.
So I like you guys. I'm glad you guys are both on here. You know, this is good stuff. Speaking of that, just to kind of, as I tried to finalize, but I'm glad we had the announcement. That's a cool link up you guys are going to have. What are there any other Kickstarters that you just want to kind of bring attention to that you yourself are a part of? Either backing or you know somebody that's backing, something that's kind of got your attention, or even a recent one that you just really thought was really cool.
Albatol or Katie.
I know there's one I was talking with Josh about before the podcast. The guys at Dogmite.
Oh, yeah. I love them. They're great guys.
Oh, my gosh. All their woodworking is amazing. They just did a Kickstarter that ended earlier this week. This week being week ending in September 30th. Not this week happening when you're listening right now.
Right.
But they had these...
past, present.
Right. Whenever this is, in whichever timeline we're currently existing. They had one where it was called Hero Sleeves, and it was just a simple... like long wooden box that fit one full set of polyhedral dice, and then there was something called the bone box that would fit. I think it was five sleeves. Yeah, five sleeves.
5 sleeves and a marker.
Mm-hmm. And you could write on it because the front of it had like a little clear piece of plexiglass or whatever, and you had your dry erase marker, and you could like write your stats and stuff on it. And they raised a bunch of money. They ended up having all these awesome stretch goals. There were dice included in the campaign as well that you could get, which I backed for their layered dice they had, which were really wild.
Yeah.
Like, I've backed the Halvesies dice products, which are really cool. It's a half and half dice, but these layered ones were like layers of different distinct colors on top of each other. It was just really interesting. But yeah, no, anything that they've made, I've always been really impressed with the quality of Dogmite's products.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they never fail to deliver.
Now, they've had a little controversy on that Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I was one of the first people that backed it. Mm-hmm. And they originally were focusing on the dice, which they were not producing. They were purchasing it. And so, but here's where they handled this very well. They talked to their backers. They said, do you want us to bring this? Do you want us to stop this campaign and redo it as focusing on our boxes, or do you want us to continue on? And because, to be quite honest, that gets back to the whole pre-order thing, and as a storefront rather than as a creator type system. But they recognized it, and what they did was they downplayed the dice and made their boxes the focus.
That update came like a day after I backed, because I noticed, originally their Kickstarter did have the dice when it went into the See More. It was all the dice first, and then, like, side note, look at these boxes we're making. But then after that update, they completely changed the About This section. They made the hero sleeves and the bone boxes, and they're like, also, look, you can buy these dice and add them to your things. They'll match stuff and look cool. Like, if you want them, they're here.
Which I completely appreciate. I've seen these guys since the Adventure Box, and I've talked to them at like Origins and different conventions when I've exhibited, and they are amazing, truly amazing.
Well, as big a fan as I am, and I love the group at Carolina Game Tables. I highly recommend them. If you're looking for a high-end game table, make sure you check them out. They were very successful on Kickstarter. But it looks like game tables are coming kind of after the fall of Geek Chic.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
It was just the way that all went down.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I really feel bad for them. They had some really high quality things. I know it was exclusive.
I'm out of the loop.
For those who
Geek
haven't,
Chic doesn't exist anymore.
For those who haven't heard,
Don't know what that is.
Geek Chic tables, the ones that used to have
that used to be at Gen Con with the blonde swan hats. The hats and the tables were always together. They were the weird, like, not weird, but like the neat modular tables. The one was shaped like a Catan piece, like a Catan table, and like
They were very nice. They made coffee tables, dining room tables.
Yeah,
they made all kinds.
But they were high priced and
High quality.
they were very high quality. But there was a back order behind it. Well, they had reached a point that they thought they wanted to move into and kind of diversify their businesses, and they bought another game company. Turns out that game company had $500,000 in unannounced debt, and as a result, they had to shut the doors of Geek Chic at least until they get the legal stuff taken care of. But as a result,
I really hope that they come back, though.
I do too.
They were really the
form.
ones that pioneered this.
They did.
Absolutely.
And even Carolina Game Table said that Geek Chic helped them get started. So there are, speaking of game tables, there's this company that just put one out called the Table of Ultimate Gaming. I don't know if you guys saw that thing. What a great name.
That sounds awesome.
It was a modular board game table that they had two main sizes, but you could literally take the side off of it and attach another one to make it longer. If you wanted
that's
to.
cool.
And then it had a lot of designs and then a few compartments and stuff. But it was a pine-based table, so I think their base price was like $6.99.
Wow.
So it was a good starting another option along with the portable game table that you had mentioned earlier. So I think it's cool that in the wake of Geek Chic that other companies have kind of come to the table to provide a few more options. And then of course Nightfall. I'm backing Nightfall as I've mentioned before.
Thank you, Josh.
Yes. Well, and Monty Cook from Numenera has Numenera 2 currently out on Kickstarter. I'm not currently backing that one because we're not actually playing Numenera at the moment,
Right.
so I didn't want to get too dug into that. So, does anybody have anything else? No? Well,
No.
that was fun. I'm glad you guys got linked up. Definitely, I'm going to go ahead and pre-tell people, look forward to episode 160 coming out in October.
October 23rd.
October 23rd. As we do an actual play for Skybound Games Super Fight, and it was super fun.
And we
will be super fun.
changed the rules.
And we made it even more super than it already super was.
That's super.
Thanks for asking.
I took the words right out of my mouth.
It's a whole lot of words wearing capes. That's all it is.
Sure.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for joining
kind of
us.
words.
And as Don would say, we will check you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit cafepress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus!